Good evening everybody, welcome to another quick hit review video. It is Sunday. The market will be opening in about 3 hours and I have 2 or 3 things that I'm actually looking at going into next week. Some of them at market. Just as a reminder, obviously there's a lot going on at the moment with Brexit and pound news, and we do have pound news out on Monday and throughout the week as well, as the debate goes on as to what the Prime Minister is going to do regarding to Brexit. But that aside, what I want to look at is the euro yen. The euro yen. So in the live webinars, we've been talking about the euro yen and the short opportunity. If we're looking at this on the dailies and we put a structure level on at the closes of the candles at the most recent structure level, well, you can see price has not as yet come into that zone, but what you can see is price has been making lower lows. So if we draw this out, we had a new low, a pullback, a new low, a pullback, then we've made a new low here, there's a pullback and another new low, and right now we've pulled all the way back to this zone, and this zone can be seen clearer on the 240 time frame. Now here on the 240, then this is exactly how the trend is. This is the high of our outside return just here. So what I'm going to do is just I'm actually just going to highlight the wicks here. So this would be a last chance entry for me. So this is where we come into the previous outside return and we look for the very last chance entry, which is a rotation pattern. That can be a head and shoulders, it can be a double top. And last week I said watch out for a double top just here, here and here. And I said that we can play for a retest of this lower structure level, and secondary targets could actually be all the way down at this lower level. Now, my concern at the time was the size of this spike. We've got a very big spike here, so what it actually means is that stops would need to go above this level in order to be valid. But what we do have is we do have a valid retest up there. We did have the RSI confirmation on the first test. We went overbought. We had divergence, actually still overbought on the second test there. So lots of confirmation with the RSI. We held that structure level, so we can again look for a retest of this level or even that secondary structure level. What you can also do is quite simply wait for more confirmation. So wait for a pullback like this, wait for a confirmed break below, close below, a pullback for 26.18 and a chance to get short down to this zone. If you was to enter now at market, you would have roughly this amount of risk and this amount of reward, or if you're playing for a complete retest to that lower structure level, this is going to give you a very nice reward to risk. You're going to be looking at around 255 pips of reward for a risk of around 100 pips on that trade. So that's the euro yen. We do also have something very similar on the euro dollar. So euro dollar still looking short. We have been doing for a long time, but it just has not produced any type of entry for me. However, this is looking very nice, and I'll talk through this in a moment. So we had a move lower, a pullback, a move lower. There's the pullback, a move lower. First and last chance entry. This would be the first chance entry on this time frame. So a double top or a head and shoulders, last chance entry like we've just seen on the euro yen, exactly the same. So we've come into the wicks here, and we can look on one time frame lower and look for a rotation pattern. You can see that we've had a very nice big bullish candle here, followed instantly by a big rejection candle. Now if we zoom out and look left, is there room for this to come lower? Yes, I do believe that we could come considerably lower as a minimum down to this level. And as we zoom in again, we have this lovely rejection candle up here coming into the wicks. As we drop down one time frame, do we have a rotation pattern? Well, we've got the makings of one. We don't have it as yet. This was something we went through in the live room as well. And what we've seen is we've come up, we've actually come into our price reversal zone, and we're waiting here for a double top and a chance to short the market. First targets, retest of this structure level, move to break even and hold for the second targets. do also have the RSI confirmation, but we do need this second test to come up to test the closes of the candles of the first test, and that just yet we haven't done. And we'll wait and see what happens when the market opens in about 3 hours time as to whether or not we do see a gap with all the news that's been going on, or whether or not we don't and we hold structure. We'll have to wait and see, but that's what I'm going to be looking at when the market opens. Did have also the dollar CAD. This was another one that we went through in the live room about midweek, and we were looking for short opportunities. I'm just going to talk through this. So we had some lovely trendline structure just here. Yeah, it was there. 1 second. We had a couple of trend lines actually. This was the one. There we go. Okay, so we had 1, 2, and we looked at this zone and how it hugged this level 3 times but didn't produce any type of double top, no valid entry reason, and what we did is we rallied lower as a result of that. So my projected target as a minimum is here. Bigger picture, I do believe that we can come down to this structure level, this one, possibly make our way all the way down to this zone. So we certainly made the move lower as a result of this. This just here was the structure level I was paying attention to that we needed to violate. So here on the daily time frame we do have a lower low, lower close candle. As we drop 1 time frame lower, we'll then look to see, is there any type of trend that we can get involved with? Well, there absolutely is. We've had 1 point move, a 2 point move, and a 3 point move. This means we're in trend and we have an outside return just here. So what I'm going to be looking at is, number 1, I'm going to be looking for the first chance entry to short the market. That's a rotation pattern. Number 2 is a lower low, lower close within the wicks. Number 3 is another rotation pattern within the wicks up in this level. So going to be looking for shorts, and first targets for me are going to be a retest of this structure level. So just to draw this out, this would be my reward and this would be my risk if we was to get a second chance entry. If you don't know what that is, go onto the website. That will show you what a first chance, second chance, third chance entry is, and show you how to use this strategy in order to get involved with a trend continuation trade. So very nice opportunity on the dollar CAD. We've got high time frame confirmation with the daily, the lower low, lower close. We violated the outside return of structure. We're in trend on the 240, so I'm certainly going to be paying close attention to that. So a few opportunities I'm keeping an eye on. I hope to see you within the chat Monday, and hopefully some of these opportunities will provide us an entry going into next week.